it's time to revisit this topic. The last time I reported about the astronauts that were stranded in space. And yes, they're stranded. Every single media outlet uses the term stranded. If you don't like it, take it up with the English language. The last time I reported on this, I told you that in June they flew up for an 8-day flight on Boeing's Starliner thing. And it had problems. As many of you mentioned in my comments, if it's Boeing, I ain't going. Well, they went. So they got up to the space station and realized they couldn't come back home on Starliner. Last I heard, Boeing was like, I mean, we think we've got it, but we're just, not 100% sure. Which doesn't feel like an uplifting sentiment, considering the fact that NASA already lowballs it with a 1 in 270 chance of loss of life. Like, for every 270 flights, one of those is going to be a loss of crew, and NASA's like, we're good with that. What? This does not help my phobias, of which I realize that there are many for outer space. Here you go. You can pause to read that. I have all of these. Many of you, especially in my Instagram comments, did not like the fact that I used the term stranded, and you didn't hold back. You insisted that they were astronauts, so they were happy to be up in space. Yes, that's why it was my phobia, not theirs. But since you brought it up, I did go and read the article about the fact that astronauts routinely get stuck in space, apparently. Like when Russia launched a spacecraft in 1979 that was going up to their space station, but the engine had mechanical failures and couldn't make it to the space station. So the cosmonauts had to stay in space for 175 days. That's too long. Or when a Russian spacecraft was docked at the International Space Station and a tiny space rock hit it in 2022, astronaut had to stay for 370 days. Oh my God. Or that time when the Soviet Union collapsed. So the astronaut that was already in space for a 5-month journey, he'd been up there for 4 months already, ended up having to stay for a total of 311 days while they worked out that geopolitical mess. So yeah, I mean, these people are astronauts, so they're pretty chill with getting to stay longer than 8 days in space. It sounds like a nightmare to me. Supposedly, SpaceX is going up in September, but they have some mission to complete and they'll leave in February. So these two will catch a ride with them, hopefully. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.